Hello and welcome. I'm an AI-generated narrator, and I'm going to walk you through the steps to get started on the Appgeeo platform for universal app localization. When we're done, the demo apps listings will be localized in all 88 languages that are supported by Google Play and the App Store. You can find links in the description to Appgeeo and the Getting Started guide, which covers each of the steps I'm about to demonstrate. Today, I'm using the very first public preview version of Appgeeo. The system is functional for App Store listings and screenshots, but there are still rough edges that the team is ironing out. Your feedback is very welcome. Please leave a comment below or email us at team@appgeo.com. We start by creating an account and a first project. To create your account, click any of the Get Started buttons on the Appgeeo website. With Google SSO, your account is created in seconds. Now we'll create a first project. Let's call it Talia. Okay, good. We have our account and our project. Next up, we'll connect the Talia project to the Google Play Console and App Store Connect. I'm going to click into the project. Here we have the project overview. To start linking Google Play, I'll click on the Store Link section, then I'll click the Connect button. Here in the dialog, I'll need to provide a nickname for this connection. I'll call it Talia PSC. And for bundle ID, I'll use the one for the demo app I'm connecting. And lastly, I'll need the API key JSON file that I pulled from Google. The full instructions for getting this key file are linked in the description. I'll submit the dialog, and Appgeeo will validate the connection credentials. And once that succeeds, I link the project to the new store connection. Now that we have linked the Talia project on Appgeeo to the Talia app on Google Play, we'll see the current live app listing for the primary locale, which in this case is English US. Now we'll go through a similar process for linking App Store Connect. This time, you'll need the key ID and issuer ID along with the P8 key file that you've retrieved from Apple. Again, the full instructions are linked in the description. After submitting the info to Appgeeo, the connection is validated and I can link the Talia project on Appgeeo to the Talia app on App Store Connect. Upon success, I see the current live app listing in the primary locale, which again is English US. We now have our Appgeeo project linked to both Google Play Console and App Store Connect, so we're ready to publish our listing updates. To publish store listings in all 88 languages, there are 4 steps. 1. Set up our input strings. 2. Translate the strings into all of the target languages. 3. Publish and verify on Google Play Console. 4. Publish and verify on App Store Connect. We'll walk through each of these. To set up our input strings, we'll go to the Strings area under Store Text. Here you can see that we have no strings at the moment for either Google or Apple. Up top, there are 2 nudges suggesting that we import strings from the stores, and that is exactly what we're going to do. First, from App Store Connect. Now you see that we have the live text in English for Talia from the App Store listing, including the description, keywords, name, subtitle, and what's new have all been imported. Now let's do the same thing for Google Play. Good, you can see that the full description, short description, and title were all imported. We've got all our input strings ready in English. It's time to kick off the translation engine. I'll click over into the activity area and into the translation run tracker. Here we can see that the engine is running. It can take several minutes to generate all of the translations. In this case, we're translating 10 input strings into 87 languages. Appgeeo optimizes for quality over speed here. It took 14 minutes to generate the 870 new translations. Now we'll go have a look at the output, clicking into the translations area. Here we are looking at English. We've got all 88 languages in here. Let's work from Z upwards, starting with Zulu. There we have our store listings in Zulu. And now let's have a look at Slovak. And spot check Bulgarian. Satisfied that these look good, it's time to publish the new listings. We'll do the App Store first, confirming that we want to publish the listings in all 39 supported languages. Now over in the activity area, we can monitor the publishing process. In just under 3 minutes, the listings are published, and we can head over to the App Store Connect dashboard for the Talia app to verify that the listings have been updated. Here in App Store Connect, we'll look at English, the primary locale, first. Looks good. Let's have a look at Arabic. Looking good? Switch it to Dutch. All looking good. We've successfully published 39 localized App Store listings to the App Store. Now, let's do the same for Google Play. Again, quite similar steps to App Store publishing, but this time we're publishing listings in the 77 languages supported by Google Play. And it only takes 35 seconds to publish. Now we'll spot check the localized listings over in the Google Play console. We can see in the list that there are a lot of localized listings. Why not check Punjabi first? Looks all right. Now Spanish of the Iberian variant. And Tamil. Thai, Turkish, and finally Afrikaans. All looking good. We've successfully translated our existing store listings from English into 87 other languages and published all of the listings on the App Store and Google Play. That's the first superpower of Appgeeo demonstrated. Now let's move on to the second superpower, localized screenshots. At a high level, there are 6 steps. 1. Set up your input strings. 2. Generate translations. 3. Set up Figma. 4. Design the screens. 5. Export screens from Figma to Appgeeo. 6. Publish and verify the screens on the stores. To set up our input strings for screenshots, we'll go to the strings area. Initially, there's just the one placeholder string here. I'm going to put in 9 strings that I want to use on my screenshots. I'll skip ahead here so you don't have to watch me type. All right, now that we have our input string set, we're ready to kick off translations. The translation system works the same here as it does for store text, so I'll skip ahead once again. This time, it took under 10 minutes to produce 783 translations. Let's go in and spot check a few strings. Looking good. In the project config area, scroll down to the Figma section. Here you'll find the 4 things you'll need in order to use Appgeeo translations on your screenshots in Figma. The screenshots file provides correctly sized frames for the screen sizes required by Google Play and the App Store, plus some additional common sizes. The Bridge plugin connects Figma to your Appgeeo project and the project ID and key, which we'll use in a moment to sign into the plugin. Now let's go ahead and open the Appgeeo file in Figma. Next, we'll install the Appgeeo Bridge plugin. Now it's time to move over into Figma. Here we are in the Appgeeo Figma file. Each page provides the frames in a different screen size. For this demo, I'm going to use the Android phone size. I'm just going to use the 2 frames for now. Firstly, dropping in some sweet gradient backgrounds. Next, I'll create 9 text boxes and distribute them across the 2 frames. We will style the text later. Now let's go ahead and sign into the Appgeeo Bridge plugin. I'll click on the Appgeeo Bridge plugin in the Plugins panel, then copy over the project ID and key from the project config area. Here we can see that we now have access to all of the translation languages from the Thalia project in Appgeeo. Behind the scenes, the plugin has created a string variable collection, which we can take a look at in the Variables panel. You can open the Variables panel under the View menu, Panels, Toggle Variables. Here we can see the translated strings for the currently selected language. Each time we pick a different language in the plugin, this collection is updated. Now we'll bind the text boxes to these variables so Figma knows which translation to use for each text box. I'll select each text box, then apply the variable that holds the right string. I'll fast forward through this step as it is the same for each text box. Along the way, you'll see that the text doesn't fit in the frame neatly. We'll sort that out in a moment. Now that I have bound all of the text boxes to the variables, let's confirm that the variable bindings are working correctly by switching to a few different languages. Looks good. We can now format the text boxes to make them look better and keep the translations in the frame across all languages. the team has written a guide to formatting the text boxes, which you can find linked in the description. Okay, now it's looking all right, but let's check it against a few languages. Upon switching to Afrikaans, we can see that the text is too long for the frame, so I'll make a few more adjustments. All right, let's see how that looks. Nice. Now I'll spot check a few more languages. Okay, looking really good. Now you're primed to build out the screens and really make them sing with your own product messaging and branding. Let's move on to the next step, exporting the screens from Figma to Appgeeo. We kick off export by selecting one of the options here. I'm going to choose current page, all languages. The speed of this process is governed by the speed at which Figma performs the string swapping and frame export. The faster your machine, the faster this will go. In this case, it took just under 6 minutes to export the screens for all 88 languages. Now we can switch over to Appgeeo and have a look at the exported screenshots. In the Screens area, we can spot check a few languages until we're satisfied that the exports were successful. Once satisfied, we'll kick off the publishing process. Because we only exported one screen size from Figma, we'll only be publishing those Android phone size screens via our Google Play connection. Okay, now the export is running. 154 screens have been published to Google Play successfully. That's the second superpower of Appgeeo demonstrated. And we're done. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below or email us at team@appgeo.com.